All good, like the insurance company. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final game of the night. Team Earth versus Team Nerf. Again, for those of you who are still new, to many, thank you for joining us and playing. I appreciate that. That you guys can join us every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/Jake_Kelton. As well as we now have a fancy queue that makes it a lot easier for us to actually figure out who to invite into games that we'll have to play around a little bit with if there's any number of people who have played multiple games in a row. We'll have to figure that out. So, Nova's asking you to eat louder if it's all possible. So, enjoy the game, guys. I'm going to be heading out. Drift Zeno, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate that as well.
Indeed.
This is why I don't use the Blue Yeti when I'm casting solo, because it just picks up everything. It's a beautiful microphone, but can we get some XLNC ASMR? No, it's more like, it's more like this. Let's be quiet for just a second. And we see Lord of the Donks looking to ban the third ban of the game. And Zoe banned away by Phantom of Temp. Kha'Zix. It's the monster banned away by Lord of the Donks, third ban.
Okay, that was the weirdest thing we've ever done on stream.
It was fun first night here. I'll be back next Tuesday. Thank you for the games. Vinsanity, appreciate that. Hope you can rejoin us for future games as well. I don't think you were on the list for game number 2. That you probably did try to /join as things got crazy for a little bit, but it's the opposite of ASMR. Phantom of Temp picking up the Jungle Riven, most likely, that he could change those spells and go for the top lane instead. The Lord of Domes picking up Yasuo, most likely for the mid lane. That is the third Yasuo so far tonight. First Yasuo failed completely, failed at the beginning, but then came back in the end. Second game, Yasuo had a really bad time and completely lost his lane. Third time around, can Lord of the Dong show us what a true Yasuo looks like? We'll have to find out as Purple Nim picks up the purple monster of the Vel'Koz. /Fire grabbing the Galio as well. We'll see if he goes for the mid lane or the top lane, as it is a very strong ganking champion. We have got some good tank and AD out of Team Nerf so far, as Talia picked up by Doncius. Welcome back to the stream.
Mom is Yeah, sorry, King Smoit. That, but really what you did there is you really embodied the spirit and the essence that is Yasuo. If you hadn't fed, then you wouldn't have been really playing the champion that well. So playing on super high ping is really just carrying the trophy and the mantra of Yasuo. Well done, sir. All Yasuo mains are very proud of you right now.
Draven out.
Sorry that my typing is super loud as well. This is the Blue Yeti that is at fault, but of course, it is still a good microphone if you wanted to pick one up for if you're doing any sort of, not vlogging. Well, vlogging, it could kind of work for it, but podcasting. Everyone loves it for the podcast. As Draven going to be banned away by Team Nerf, still taking him off the table, even though he doesn't see much play. We'll have to find out what Team Earth decides to ban away. It is the Alistar. No Wincarnation this game around, but still a very strong support. I love Talia as a strong roam, but is that a Vel'Koz support coming out from Team Earth?
It very well could be, Jake. And Vel'Koz support, it works in some. It works very well in combination with Jhin. Those two go very well together. The snare from Jhin sets up the knockup of Vel'Koz very well, and the burst damage that comes through, very, very powerful there. Anyway, sorry to everybody for eating cereal on stream, but I was developing a very severe headache and was having difficulty focusing, so I had to get something.
And we have broken for the first time on this particular stream 30 live viewers, which is not only awesome, but apparently Wraith's ASMR eating is what brought 30 viewers. So we'll have to consider picking that one up in the future. We want to get more viewers involved. And that was Cheerios and bananas.
Banana Cheerios.
Banana Cheerios was the cereal. So, but thank you guys. Seriously. This stream would not be what it is if it wasn't for you guys. Your dedication, not only watching the games, but playing in the games, because it wouldn't be possible without you guys playing. That we are creating one of the biggest and most watched shoutcasting streams that has nothing to do specifically with Riot. It says 22 on my screen. It did suddenly drop down to 23, so maybe I'm wrong.
No.
Strawberries are better.
Strawberries are better.
All right, well, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go ahead and roll through the players and their champions. Let's roll away Team Earth. Go for it.
For Team Earth, we've got Phantom of Tempt picking up Ashe in the bottom lane ADC role. We've got Purple Nim on Vel'Koz backing him up on support. Donshus, I almost said Dondelicious, on Talia in the mid lane. Sejasis on Jax in the jungle, and Riven Exile rounding it out with, finally, the Riven in the top lane.
And 5, Team Nerf, it's Lord of Dongs taking the Yasuo into the top lane. Slashfire on the Galio in the mid lane. Sakura Sammy with the Warwick in the jungle. Catnator back again on Vayne ADC in the bottom lane. And Salek taken again, we see for game 1, Tom Kench in game number 3. Now, he wasn't playing in game number 1, Tom Kench was, though. We'll see how he does in combination with that Vayne, because the worst feeling in the world as a support is when you're about to devour your ADC and save their life, and then they tumble away from you, and you're just like, oh, okay, bye, you're dead. So
Ooh, 32.
32, that is awesome. Lolo, thank you for being on top of that. I appreciate that. And we got a whole bunch of mods, or maybe I'm just seeing, Kat, Lolo, and Nova. Got a serious mod stream going on right now.
Now, hold on a second. Are you guys hating on my choices for cereal? Bananas are delicious. They just are. I enjoy, on cereal, bananas taste good. It's just a fact of life.
I do.
Now, granted, strawberries are good if they're very ripe, but the ones from the grocery store are kind of disgusting. It's like baseballs. So, are we talking like fresh-picked, delicious strawberries? Bananas are all right. Okay.
I do bananas, but I do strawberries are better. I think I agree with you. So
fresh-picked strawberry.
Fresh-picked strawberries on cereal is much better, but I do bananas on Raisin Bran cereal. That's my choice of breakfast most commonly. It's fairly cheap, and it's very, very filling. So strawberries are like baseballs.
Yes, strawberries are like baseballs, Lola.
All right.
If you don't like it, I don't know what I was gonna threaten you, but
there's nothing really to threaten.
Sorry, I can't. You're too friendly. I can't actually live with myself.
If you don't like it, we'll give you a hug if you come to DragonCon. So, yeah. All right, 1:30 left on the minute remaining, so let's look at these champions and their players really fast. We've got a pretty strong lineup coming out from Team Nerf, especially when it comes to late game. You're talking about Predator Boots on Warwick, going to be a massive impact. The one issue is they don't really have any AP. It's got the Vayne ADC, it's got Yasuo for AD, but unless Galio builds very strong AP, you're looking at a full armored team coming out of Team Earth.
Yasuo versus Riven in the top lane. Is Riven's Exile going to manage to get vengeance on the person that he had to play? He was forced to play Yasuo in game 1. Will he be able to get vengeance for that injustice? Find out on the next episode of XLNC Top Lane,
which we will be playing in about 45 seconds after this commercial break, which we're going to be commercialing Mountain Dew. Please sponsor us, so that way we don't have to pay for caffeine, because that's what Mountain Dew's good for, is lots of quick caffeine. Okay,
indeed.
Back to the game. Team Earth coming out with a strong lineup of Talia, Vel'Koz, Ashe, Jax, Riven. These are all people that can take over their lane and deal massive amount of damage. There's no support on this team. It's Vel'Koz for added damage in the bottom lane, and you've got Jax in the jungle going to be just flying out of the gate for damage. And we saw that in game number 1 was a team that had no real tanks and basically all damage. And while they did very well early, struggled a little bit in mid, they still came back and won it. So does Team Earth have what it takes to actually win this game?
Does Team Earth have what it takes? Well, as we've seen, it's always down to execution, Jake. I mean, I think you and I both have respectively called the wrong team every single game tonight. So, do they have what it takes? Absolutely, they have what it takes. However, is it likely? Ashe, not necessarily the best pickup, but of course, Vayne is going to have a really rough time. And of course, Phantom of Tempt. We've seen Phantom hit I think last time he played Ashe, he hit all but one of the arrows that he shot, and it wasn't. Holy crap! Riven's Exile with the original Season 2 Championship Riven. You're the only other person besides me I've ever seen with that skin, and I suck with Riven, so I don't play it very much. I'm the world's worst Riven. However, mad props. He wins the skin wars right now and should just straight up win the game because it's the 10th most rare skin in the game. Loving it. All right. So, as I was saying, I had kind of skin geek there for a second. Catnator's gonna have a really rough time in this lane. If Purple Nim and Phantom can just land their poke, I mean, it's really hard to miss with Ashe W. It's kind of the width of the lane. Vayne very short ranged. And Purple Nim playing a champion that's really excellent at poking. So unless Catnator gets a big lead for himself in some kind of early all-in, it's going to be real hard for Cat in that lane. Aside from that, let's look at the other lanes. You've got jungle matchup. Pretty evenly matched, I'd say. Warwick, perhaps a little bit more gank pressure in the early game, and especially surrounding level 6, but the scaling is on the side of Jax, so it's a wash depending on how those two play. In the mid lane, Galio versus Taliyah. They're both really good at roaming, especially right at level 6, and they're both really good at shoving the wave. Galio's going to be a little bit tankier and perhaps have a little bit more harass. However, if Taliyah can get her roams off and shove the wave early, I believe that's more taxing on the mana side for Galio to shove the wave constantly. So Donsha should have the roaming advantage in the early game.
And keep in mind that Galio does have to actually move a little bit through the jungle to get in range for the ultimate. Donsha has seen Sammy come into here and going to get some nice Qs down. They're going to start that Breakable Rock, but Riven's Exile comes in, doesn't find the knockout. Sammy's still down to half health, may be forced to flash out here very early on. However, just able to stay out of range. Walking away with Slash walking into his own demise, has been slowed from Purple Limb as well. Exhaust down, knockup from Riven's Exile, and gets first blood on top of that. So Team Earth, despite not getting the kill on Warwick, Sakura Slashfire walks in to his own death, and that is really, really big because it gives so much pushing potential for Taliyah. She's not only going to start out with a farm lead, but
yes. So Riven has two of the long swords coming into lane. That's double the normal damage she's going to have, and poor Yasuo is going to have a really tough time TPing in. Sakura Sammy is going to be he's going to be fine getting that red buff even without a really strong leash. The push advantage is coming down on Yasuo's side. He has 5 CS to Riven's 0 at the moment, but the damage advantage is going to be pretty crazy, especially once Riven hits that early power spike. Catnator doing a really nice job using the tumbles to dodge out on Purple Nim's harass, but Phantom of Temp, I believe, is leading. No, he's now down a little bit in CS, and they're also losing the push advantage, which they should not be doing in this matchup. The level 2 is going to come through in a really quick second. Wow, really nice use of that by Donchus. Dropping down, I forget what is that, unraveled earth or unstable ground, something like that. Anyway,
Unraveled Earth.
Unraveled Earth, yeah. So Unraveled Earth, if you don't know, procs off of anything that's moving rapidly, and she used it on the Justice Punch.
Oh, and now as Galio tries to walk out, she gets stuck back in. Donchus with a beautiful outplay on the Galio. Takes him down a second time. Now 1-0 and 1 in the mid lane as Jace's on this Jax comes in the top lane, flashes for the stun, but the immediate flash from Yasuo keeps him from getting stunned up, so he is going to be able to walk away despite bringing that flash. Donchus getting some good damage onto Sammy. Tosses the Warwick right back in. He tries to dive in, gets some healing off of Donchus, and with the red buff, the out of mana Taliyah.
Auto attacks!
One more auto attack. He gets the heal! The Q for Warwick keeps him alive for a moment. He's trying to get the fear in. He gets the fear down, but doesn't have the damage. Can't get within auto attack range until Taliyah comes up huge again. But a beautiful attempt at an outplay from Sammy.
Donchus levels up. A minion dies, and Donchus gets the level up, and it gives him more mana to fire the final Q to finish off the Warwick right there. Wow!
Huge and beautiful plays. Team Earth starting very, very strong, but it's all been on the Taliyah side of things because Donjus has just been playing like a madman in that middle lane. Slashfire has been able to catch up and farm now due to Taliyah backing after picking up so much gold on those kills. Purple Nim helping Phantom of Temp to just get a lot of hard pushes in this bottom lane. And one of the things I like about their potential mid-game is that Ashe arrow, the Enchanted Crystal arrow, that Phantom Temp is so good about hitting into a Vel'Koz disintegration ray that can just burn away on somebody that's stunned up for 6 seconds would be huge if they can layer that CC well.
And the fight coming down in the top lane, and Riven getting the south side of that trade due to the minion wave, but it is Donchus on this side of the map, and Lord is going to be stunned up and taken down. Riven's Exile getting a second kill for himself. Phantom of Temp, what's it? I've always been curious why he does this, and it seems to work pretty well for him. Not taking the fleet footwork for the laning phase, but rather selecting that lethal tempo. Getting a little bit of poke down onto Catinator at the moment. That's going to be pretty good for him, but he is at a slight farm disadvantage, whereas Catinator should be down a substantial amount of CS at the moment.
And this is what happens when you have a silver player playing into a diamond player. Wait, I'm sorry. Cat is definitely silver 1. There's definitely no way that Catinator is a diamond player at all. Purple Nim is very low on mana. It seems that this game is tonight is the night of out of mana, as the Purple Nim is gonna have to play kind of safe and wait until he either gets mana back or Team Earth's bottom lane may have to recall to pick up some first items, giving Nim back the mana that he needs to continue to help support with those poking. But just keep spamming out more Qs, I guess.
Yeah, they really do kind of need to back, and now Catinator, just off of superior farming technique, has managed to get himself almost a 10 CS lead in a completely losing matchup. Very well played by him, and a lot of posturing toward the top lane, but it doesn't look like much is going to come of it. Donchus moving forward, he has access to that ultimate, so I'm expecting him to roam either toward top or bot side. Most likely going to try and snowball this Riven a little bit further.
You actually see it on cooldown, so the Weaver's Wall Up, I think, was used to kind of disengage some of that fighting that could have happened, but nothing ended up coming out of it. Sorry, go ahead.
Freak is playing lead today. Alright, so we've got 2 kills on the Taliyah, we've got 2 kills on the Riven, and none coming back from the other side. So you've got a fed top laner and a fed mid laner. However, no advantages in the bot side except for a 10 CS advantage for Catinator, and that bodes very well for the level 6, where he does get the damage advantage in and all in, so long as he can dodge out.
Oh my goodness, Riven Exile is out of mana. It needs to be very safe here because I'm sorry. I just got a little caught up. I got excited. I'm sorry, guys. But 4-0 Team Earth, strongly in the lead, mostly off of that farm and Taliyah 2-0-2. 2,000 gold in the lead, only at 7 minutes into the game. We'll see if they can keep stacking that up. Nice stun onto the Lord of Dongs as he goes in, getting a little knock up onto Riven, but with that engage is going to just go ahead and back himself out after doing about an even trade.
Yeah, pretty even trade off of the two of them. The question is, I'm expecting Riven to go in right now because he knows...
Oh, but Warwick is here, and so is Donchus, Lord of the Dogs, already taken out. And now Sammy in trouble, tries to get the heal, the fear down as well with the red buff, but there gets the smite down onto Riven as well. I believe she still has the ultimate, doesn't even need to use it. It's the flash forward from Donchus to guarantee a kill.
Yeah, wow, Donchus with the roams definitely getting Riven snowballed. That is 3 kills and a really favorable back timing for Riven. 69 CS to 54 as well, so a decent lead there. This lane is probably over, or at least it should be. Once Yasuo gets his hands on what I assume is going to be a Phantom Dancer, he'll have a little bit of an easier time dueling, simply because it gives him a few resists.
And I kind of like this choice here of Team Earth. I'm going to assume that it is intentionally of Purple Nim and Phantom of Temp using these spells to hard push in this bottom lane. Sure, they're losing out on farm, but their other lanes are winning so hard, the Talia and the Riven, that they don't really need to be guaranteed winning this bottom lane. Just by shoving the Tahm Kench and Vayne in underneath the turret again and again keeps them from going anywhere else on the map. Now Taunt gonna go down onto 2. The stun misses. Beautiful timing from Slashfire on that taunt to keep the engage from happening.
Yep, wow, Yasuo getting harassed down really quick. Don's just taking a trade, but it looks like he's going to trade right back onto it. Slashfire going to be tossed back in and forced to flash away. Don's just with the excellent Talia plays
But
there.
here comes the Warwick. He may not want to engage. It all depends on whether Slashfire without Flash now is going to try to go in on this. Looks like with the Winds of War, he's just going to stay back. Tries to move in, uses the ultimate as well. Donchus may be going down. The knockup is good. Galio goes in with another Justice Punch. And Sammy helps the Galio to pick up a kill, but they're both going to be stunned up by the Jax. And that is a huge play from Sejasis, who comes in over the wall, ready with the return gank and guarantees 2 more kills for Team Earth.
Yeah, good roam from Riven using the active off of that Yumu's Ghostblade, speeding himself up down the river, getting himself another kill and another assist. So Jace also participating in that and getting his team very far ahead. Talia dies, but not in vain, because Vayne is on the other side and was in the bot lane at the time. Okay, really, that was the last time, guys. I'm sorry. Catinator
Until
getting
next
a
Tuesday.
Crazy trade onto Purple Nim, forcing out the heal. And
look, there's a disintegration ray. Will be enough, but at least forces Salak to use the Devour to try to pull Vayne to safety. Phantom of Temp walking forward, but the Talia coming down to the bottom lane. Weaver's Wall drop. Gonna be knocking the Tahm Kench backwards, but doesn't quite have the damage, especially with the Warwick in the bottom lane. So all it has done is force out the heal on Catinator. Now Talia could try to dive this, as both are fairly squishy. The question is whether or not Warwick is engaging in the backline is going to change this around. Sammy uses the Predator Boots and then immediately decides to walk to safety. Moving out, Galio's head towards the bottom lane. It's a Mountain Drake start as Sejasis comes over the wall, jumps forward, gets the stun out onto Galio. The taunt's going to pull him in for a moment, though they might be able to get the return damage. Sammy on the run, should be falling here in just a moment. If Donchus can finish him off, does get it. The Scuttle is actually able to be used for defensively for a moment, and is Team Earth going to clean that one up? And they just turn and start the Mountain Drake.
Yeah, definitely. They're right here on this side, and there's nothing else to really get. They could even, if they wanted to be very greedy, there's no vision for Red Team on that side, so that they could just immediately roam up and also take down the Rift Herald as well. Don's just going to engage onto Slashfire. The taunt's already been used. There's really nothing Slashfire can do here. If he lands the knockback...
Justice Punch was good to CC Donchus for a moment. Tries to get the trade on Sejasis, and Ignite's going to clean him up. So good in a 2v1 situation, getting a return kill. But it was the Justice Punch trying to interrupt the Talia rock throw, pushing him right back into the unraveled earth. However, she just kind of waited it out, baited it out, and was able to still throw him and guarantee that kill. Now, Yasuo comes back into the top lane, 86 farm to 105. Riven Exile showing proficiency on this champion, 4-0-2 so far.
Yep. So, Lord of Dongs. Wow. Okay, the Ash Arrow, had that connected, though, that would have been a kill.
Alright, Ash, we're going to start ticking it up. We did last time, though. Ash didn't have a very good game. It was 2 to 6, or 2 out of 6 total arrows that Ash threw out, and only 2 out of the 6 actually landed. We'll sort of track her at least for a little bit and see how Phantom of Temp does this time around after an incredible game earlier. Purple Nim waiting patiently to see where the members of Team Earth's bottom lane show up, but that's a disintegration ray. Condemned from Vayne, knocks him back, stops the ray, and now Purple Nim unable to continue the chase. Donchus is here, hasn't used the Weaver's Wall yet. It is still on cooldown. Catinator very low health, but has been able to tumble away to safety for the moment. Galio ult coming into the top lane. Riven's Exile on the run should be able to, with that Yumu's Ghostblade, speed herself to safety, as the 3 bot members in the bottom lane for Team Earth should be able to take this turret.
Yeah, first turret on the bot side, as well as mid going to be taken down by, or most likely by Sejasis, unless Warwick comes down to match. However, I would give Jax the favor in that fight. at this moment. Up a substantial amount of farm. Got his completed item as well. Yeah, I would definitely give the Jax that favorite.
Can I just comment really quickly that if you actually look at XLNC Shrooms, the two big purple spots look like eyes, and the shadow underneath the edge kind of looks like a mouth. So it really does look like this most ridiculous, silly face just sitting there on a long white neck. I'm kind of not distracted by that. Anyways, as Riven Exile cleans up the Yasuo in the top lane. So 3 games in, 3 games down. Yasuo has struggled in the early game. We'll see if this Yasuo can come back when it comes to the mid and especially the late game. One of the things to also note on this is Yasuo was played a handful of times in the MSI games recently and never to great use. And so it's kind of interesting that people keep picking him up even though he still sometimes struggles. In the meantime, though, the Ash Arrow does connect. This time it does land on the Galio, setting him up for just a moment, but because it's in the middle of the lane, not going to be doing that much as Sammy forces the flash out of Purple Nim. It's Vel'Koz trying to get in position, has already used the Disintegration Ray. Warwick is down as the Talia is able to pick up 2 off of a beautiful, very slow engage from Team Earth, and she just harasses them, continuing to throw out rocks.
And that is going to be the Ash Arrow counter going to 1-1 right now. Donchus really just playing so clean on this Talia. Loving to see it. That's a knock-up, and I was almost expecting Yasuo to go in, but he's smart enough not to. Donchus playing so far forward. Even at that HP, absolutely no fear. He does have Flash and Cleanse up, so he definitely is looking for an outplay right here. Trying to flex his muscles a little bit. Yasuo has a minion wave and could potentially close on him, but Donchus moves toward the outside. Probably going to back off just a little bit now.
Oh, Lord of the Dogs going in, able to get a nice last breath on the Donchus, but doesn't pick it off. The flash from the Talia keeps her alive, as well as Jax wanting to chase that one in is going to now be turned around. Salic trying to do what he can to chase down to Jace. In the meantime, Donchus goes in, but the flash out from Catnator flashes aggressively past the Talia, who already had procced the Q, and so was unable to, other than just an auto attack or two, hit the Vayne, and she was able to pick up a kill in the mid lane, shutting down that Talia that has done so well. 14 kills to 5. Team Earth are not letting up the pressure.
Yeah, and I have not mentioned this yet today, but I should have. They changed victory reward it's shutdown gold. They have a special name for it. But yeah, so they changed shutdown gold to where rather than going toward team gold like it has been for the longest time, they changed it back to being all individual gold. That was 500 gold going straight into Catnator's pockets, and that is 2 kills onto him and 0 deaths. This is still a late game monster potential on Vayne.
And one of the big things about that is how squishy the members of Team Earth are. They have some pretty good CC, so don't get scared away by the fact that they have the stuns on the Riven. And the Jax is going to guarantee a kill on Tom Kench. Disintegration Ray puts Sammy very low. He uses the ult to try to CC the member of Talia for a moment, but it's still going to guarantee his own death as the Galio uses the ultimate just to try to protect Warwick for as long as possible. Gets himself out, but Warwick still falls 2 kills to 0. Earth still strong, using that CC I was just talking about to great effect, but the Catnator really has to do his homework and being able to dodge around and avoid all of that lockup so that he can actually get the damage on these squishier members of Team Earth.
A small critique, though Riven is playing excellently this game, should not have gone Mercury Treads here. There's not enough CC on the opposing team to justify that. Really, there's only, like, the long CC out of Warwick is about the only thing you're dealing with. You've got a taunt and a knock-up, and I suppose if you get pinned to the wall by Vayne.
A condemn. Oh, there is a pause. I think Ash said someone is at the door. Just answer it. You're like 11 kills up. That's pretty funny. We'll have to see what happens now, though, as it is the members of Team Earth who have moved on to the Dragon. It is an Ocean Drake to add to the Mountain Drake that they already have. So they're doing pretty well, but at this point, being almost 8,000 gold, or a little over 8,000 gold in the lead, what can Team Nerf really do as a team to start winning some of these trades and potentially team fights?
Basically unlock Vayne, peel for her, and know that Riven is going to dive straight for Vayne. Jax is going to dive straight for Vayne. So all they need to do is not allow Vayne to get killed, let her scale up, let her get her 3-item spike, and she will eventually carry the game. Riven falls off. Jax doesn't fall off, but Talia actually falls off as well. Not the quintessential late game carry you think of, but she will, of course, outscale the Galio, who is a really good tank, and that AoE taunt is the perfect tool just with the Doctor or keeping Vayne alive. Sejasis might have gotten himself killed, though.
Yeah, he does get the avoidance of all those auto attacks from the Vayne, just dodging out on those. So not taking too much damage after a condemn into a wall, and I believe his ultimate was used as well, indeed. So he is just going to play a little bit safe, and I like from Team Nerf, both kind of pulling a bit more defensively and just kind of waiting out until they get closer towards that late game. And at the same time, not afraid to go a little aggressive. The key here is just to not be too aggressive. If they start diving, if they start really chasing down some of these stronger members, in which Team Earth has a much better collapse between the fast movement speed of the Riven or the Jax hopping over walls or even the Talia wall, there's some really good collapse coming out for Team Earth. Where now in the bottom lane, Riven Exile looks, and it doesn't matter though because the Vayne, very, very low health, does get stunned up and will go down. Yasuo chases in, gets the Riven, gets the double kill onto the Jax as well, and now trying to stop the Rift Herald. The bottom lane turret should still go down. It's very low health. I think he actually saved it. Oh my goodness. Alright, Lord of the Dongs gets his way back into the game, saving the bottom lane turret, getting a double kill as well. And that's that tamed aggression using the turret, that all of those auto attacks onto Riven. Took her down so low, he'd get one. Mid lane, second tier will fall, and Windfall keeps any more aggression from Team Earth as they back away from going in.
Yeah, and guys, in the chat, what I meant by saying that he shouldn't have gotten the Mercury Tread was not that they're not effective in the game, but the only threats that are really going to kill him are auto attack based. Yasuo, pretty much all auto attack, and the armor's going to help on what's not auto attack. Galio, yes, he's AP, but unless I miss my guess, he's probably going to go straight tank after this, so there's not a ton of auto attack damage. Warwick gets a ton of damage off of his auto attacks. Vayne is the one that you really have to worry about, though, with all auto attack based damage. So I wasn't so much saying that Mercury trades were ineffective, so much as Ninja Tabby are 9 million times more effective.
Just better against his composition, which is something we commented on at the very beginning in Champ Select, was how much AD was coming out of Team Nerf. There just really isn't much AP. Sammy maybe in a little bit of trouble, going to be tossed back, only knocked down one of those rocks, doesn't matter. Talia's still got the damage, and now it's Yasuo in the bottom lane having to defend a very low turret against a Riven who is pushing in. They've kind of switched their composition into a 4-1 rather than the original 3-2 that they had when they were originally pushing in. The bottom lane turret will fall, slash fire in the mid lane, trying to defend and hold against this team that's got so much poke. Oh my goodness, Salek almost goes down just off of that. The Weaver's Wall going to be kind of holding people in against the turret, kind of channeling them in through the bottlenecking between the turret and the wall. Earth continuing to kind of push in. Catinator chunked low, and Vel'Koz Q still adding more damage to Catinator. And this poke siege comp from Team Earth is doing really well.
Yeah, Dawn's just really playing super clean, keeping people at bay. Phantom of Temp needs to be stepping up just a little bit more and hitting that turret. Sejasis managing to get some damage down, but gets taunted up under the tower.
Oh, Purple Mim executed. Catinator doing a nice job flashing in. Tries to condemn, does to condemn Talia into a wall. One more auto attack should be enough. Catinator's still doing some massive damage, but Sejasis comes in with the stun to stop the killing spree. That would have been an easy triple kill if that stun hadn't happened. So Sejasis playing very smart. Nice knockup into last breath from the Yasuo. However, he gets executed and taken down. The Talia cleaning that one up as Riven Exile coming through. Slash fire trying to get the last little bit of damage through down the Ignite to Donchis, and does get the shutdown, but double kill to the Riven's Exile on that Riven, who are going to be able to push in freely with Phantom of Temp on the inhibitor turret now and should be able to take it out.
Yeah, so that's going to be the mid lane inhibitor going down, and they really, really, really fed Riven. Galio needs to start building tank. I don't know if it's going to matter so much.
Ult from the Warwick. Sammy coming in. Kratnir trying to finish off someone, but just gets a little bit of poke damage onto the Riven. Immediately hops herself to safety. And that's one of the issues that we talked about on game number 2, was that when a team has one or maybe two people that are super, super fed, if they get picked off or they get shut down, the rest of the team kind of falls apart. The issue right now is that Team Earth, 23 kills to 10, over 12,000 gold in the lead, have a fed Riven, a fed Jax, a fed Talia, and a not too many deaths, Ashe or Vel'Koz. You can pick on Ashe and Vel'Koz, but it doesn't matter because A, they've been playing extremely safe, and B, everyone else is so fed.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing an excellent job. The thing is once your top or your mid or your bot lane gets super far ahead, often, and Jake has touched on this a little bit earlier in the day, that you don't necessarily now have to play to win. You need to play to not lose. That you have an advantage in one of your other lanes, so there's really no reason. Riven's Exile. She wants that blue buff. Give me that blue. Come back.
Down, and he does get it, finishing off the Warwick on a rampage. Purple Nim just harassing down, but Catinator gonna pin Vel'Koz to a wall. Doesn't even need it, just triple auto attacks to take him out as Riven just freely pushes the bottom lane. So fed, so far ahead. The Hydra not even used just to clean up the kill onto Yasuo. Middle inhibitor's already fallen. Several members pushing towards the bottom lane. The cannon just doing some good destruction on that one. It is an Infernal picked up by the Jax in the meantime. Talia pushing the top lane. Riven drawing so many members of Team Nerf that there's nowhere that they can go that's truly safe.
Yeah, and this top lane's getting a little bit of damage. Catinator just standing there at autoing. Had he moved back, I think Cat's AFK.
Oh, yeah, very low. Probably typing to the team, more likely. Is running away now, trying to stay safe, but Slash Fire's going to be tossed back. Sammy goes in, gets the fear onto Phantom attempt, but guarantees a point-blank range ultimate double kill for the Ashe, wanting to come out of this game with some nice-looking stats. You don't want to finish a game off with only one kill when you're supposed to be the carry ADC. Weaver's wall from Talia just to kind of slow Nerf from defending against these middle Nexus turrets going down. The flash from Riven's Exile, trying to get in and find the kill on the Catinator. Doesn't really matter though at this point. So Jace is very low actually. One more auto attack from Catinator might be able to finish him off. But it is still going to be Salek falling. That's going to be Riven's Exile.
Same thing, didn't need the flash.
Catinator goes in, Catinator goes out. Very simple there. Jax cleans one up, and the Nexus turret's going to fall as Warwick goes down as well. Galio comes in, trying to make the heroes play. Dodgers gets knocked up. Oh! And they take out two. The Jax and the Talia falling. But Slashfire going to fall himself, just drawing members of Team Earth out of the base for a moment. They still have Baron on this Riven, and she's the one. Riven's Exile didn't get a Riven in the first game, does get her Riven in the third game, 13-1-3, and that's why they have the Riven in the username. 2 OP, 32 kills to 14. Team Earth shows why they have nerfed Team Nerf. That didn't really work, but I tried.
I respect your attempt, though, Jake.
Respect the attempt.
All right.
Support Talia, 14 assists.
MVPs, honorable mentions, and shoutouts. So, I'm going to give MVP and honorable mention to Team Nerf on... Honorable mention to Slashfire 90. While he did die twice really early, he did a really, really, really good job at turning around a couple of the ganks. He managed to get a kill onto Sejasis in a 2v1 when he was down kills and gold. He managed to turn around, use the Ignite, and get a kill for himself. He tried to start several plays using the ultimate, never getting scared. So often you see players, they get intimidated by the fact that they're maybe not doing the best right now, and they just, I'm going to sit in my lane, I'm going to farm, I'm not going to try and make plays. But he was all over the map trying his hardest with that ultimate to make something happen. Unfortunately, they're so far down in gold that it really wasn't going to be possible. Perhaps a little bit of a critique that after he was that far down, maybe he should have gone towards something more along the lines of what is that? Not what's the item? Abyssal Mask. I was trying to say Abyssal Scepter, but it's not been an Abyssal Scepter for a couple of seasons now. But Abyssal Mask, something a little bit tankier, give him some magic resist to deal with the Talia, who is really doing a lot. So that gives him the honorable mention. And the MVP goes over to Catinator. He straight up won a lane that he shouldn't have even had a chance in, using the tumble to maximum advantage, dodging in and out of purple Nims, Harass, and Phantom of Tempt W's. He even managed to avoid several of those, scaling pretty well and even making some pretty hypey highlight reel plays. So that's your MVPs, honorable mentions, and shoutouts for Team Nerf. But we're not done, because Team Earth did really well, and there's some decent candidates right here, and I'm going to have to give MVP obviously over to Phantom of Tempt because he's playing ADC. No. Sorry guys, no. I have to give honorable mention over to Riven's Exile, 13-1 in the top lane, but the MVP goes over to Donchus because of the camp. Now, you guys know how I do these. It's not late game impact. While Riven's Exile had some nutty plays and great side lane pressure really all game, the thing I have to give Donchus the MVP for is the roams.
Total game pressure.
Yeah, I weight early game impact greater than late game impact, because once you're snowballing, anybody can get, 47 kit. Well, not really, but like I weight the early game impact of a support who does excellent engages, or a jungler who ganks a ton, that end up snowballing the game, more so than the ADC who ended up 26-5. Just because he got a few kills earlier off a good jungle gank. However, all that to say, Riven's Exile, some very, very good plays, deserving of the honorable mention. Donchus pulling down the 9, 4, and 14, but the ganks are what got everybody toward that victory. Well played on all sides.
And it has been a fantastic night. I think we are going to call it quits, as it is the third game and it has been completed. Team Earth showing why Riot needs to have a permanent Earth mode. Would decrease the fun of it a little bit if it was always available, but gosh darn it, I mean, anytime you wanted to just jump into an Earth match, that would just be so wonderful. Thank you all though. Tonight has been absolutely insane. We're gonna test out a feature that I have yet to do. I'm gonna try it. But I appreciate you all coming out. I appreciate you all playing. And of course, please continue to come back in the following Tuesdays. As I said, if you are a sub and you have your Discord connected to your Twitch, you can actually go onto the Discord and there's a channel that you can just view and see some of the crazy things that we're planning on continuing to grow the stream. As I've said before, the stream is still in beta mode. There's a lot more that can be grown. There's a lot more that can be built on this. This is just the beginning. As I think Count Dooku said in the Star Wars movies. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys coming out.
And Shadow Hunter, we do this every Tuesday night. Now, I'm not going to be here for the remainder of the summer, unfortunately. As you guys probably have heard, I'm going to be overseas in Italy. I'm going to be... actually, I won't be playing on the European server, but yeah. I have an internship overseas learning under some really excellent blacksmiths. Yeah, I know it's terribly sad, but Jake's going to hold down the fort down here, and I will be back in the beginning of August. So, but we do this every Tuesday night, and we'll be doing so for the foreseeable future, unless, something like the world explodes, possibly.
Or the stream suddenly is making me over $4,000 a month, and or both of us over $4,000 a month, and we do this full time, and then we do it every single night. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
As it is, though, I'm going to try this thing called rolling credits, and we'll see. But if XLNC Shrooms ever makes an appearance again, thank you all, guys. Have a fantastic night. We'll catch you guys later. I might be on Discord for just a short bit afterwards.
All right.